Hi, welcome to Candyland. I'm Ivan, your friendly neighborhood meth cook.
You know, I hear he's the best, like he's super smart.
Cookie? Yeah, he's got like a photographic mind.
So Elude is basically the story of the gang who run across a young couple who have discovered their meth lab in the forest. And it's the, the psychological thriller kind of chase that happens as the gang is trying to find the young couple and basically deal with them.
The story that I understand is just, the reality of what these gangbangers go through, what these meth addicts go through, and the consequences.
Memo is the leader of the 310 gang, and it's basically 3 kids in high school beating up 10 jocks. And my mother was basically a prostitute. My father was a hardcore disciplinarian. I'm disgusted with the whole sense of swearing, and I'm a fighter that likes to do meth and torture people with knives. I don't like to use guns because guns are too impersonal. I like to hear your breath go when I put you down. Sleepy time. Put you down on the ground when see you quiver, and then, do whatever my little dirty deeds I want to do for the day. Matthew May, the director, had condor duty. We were on a show, I think it was called Dead by Sunset. And he was up in a condor, and basically I was down below just being myself and working and just commiserating with the crew. And he had writer's block. And then when he heard me being the jackass that I am, I ended up being his lead heavy in the movie Elude. Get in.
My name's Dave Vecchio, and I'm playing the character Robbie. For me, it's totally something new. I'm used to playing the antagonist, the villain. This is more of a protagonist type role. It's like the audience is on this character. So for me as an actor, it's totally new and different. I'm not used to it. But he's definitely a guy who's, from my knowledge, he's into this brand new world. He needs to make money. He's got to do whatever he's got to do. And now he's sort of kind of in with these gangbangers, and he doesn't know what to do next. I actually didn't start acting until I was 32. I trained at David Mamet's Conservatory in New York and came to LA in 2006 and been making a living ever since. I have a movie out right now called Hick. It's got Alec Baldwin, Blake Lively, Chloe Moretz, Juliette Lewis. I play a child molester. It's about a 13-year-old girl who wants to run away from home. And then I just got done finishing a movie with Kate Beckinsale and Nick Nolte called The Trial. What is it called? It's called The Trial of Kate McCloud. For me as an actor, I'm very method. I'm not going to do meth, but I'm going to do as much caffeine as I can to help get me to the point where I need to get myself to. I don't like the morality that our world's heading right now. So I want it to go back to the old ways where the villains always end badly and the heroes always won and the victims were always saved. I think then you're teaching the right lessons to human beings. I mean, the world needs to know about this lifestyle, about what these people go through and the consequences. If you keep on teaching the same stories over and over again, I don't know, it's sort of like me when I play child molesters. They exist in real life. The audience needs to know about these characters. I know the audience doesn't like watching these people, but they exist. Same with serial killers, same with any criminal, they exist. And as long as we keep on ignoring it, the problem never goes away. I mean, I do feel that art is truth, and your job is to try to show the truth as much as possible because that's how the audience learns from it. I like playing, especially the antagonist villain type roles, because I want the audience to be afraid of my characters. I want them to hate my characters, because in real life, you'd hate a serial killer who lives next door to you. So every time I get a part of a new project, I want that to be thrown through. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to teach you a valuable lesson that these people exist, and we will do whatever we have to do to get what we want.
Hey, yo, Chief, is that Tino in there, man?
My name is Francis Capra. I'm playing the role of Rebus. Well, I've been doing this for over 20 years. My first film, called The Bronx Tale, still to this day, A Bronx Tale is the beginning for me. Always will be. Mr. De Niro, Bobby, is like a father to me. The character of Revis, to me, seems to be conflicted due to the murder of his cousin, brutal murder. It affects him greatly, and his story in the film quickly turns to a story of vengeance, very quickly, and that's what he means to me. In one word, I'd have to say, Revis is about revenge, play on words. I was introduced to the project by a friend, Michael Gonzalez, who I worked with on a film called Crank. This is something I've done before. However, I don't think I've enjoyed myself this much in a very long time. Working with Matty has been awesome. He's given me a ton of freedom. I felt that I've been able to display a lot of my power and a lot of my strength, even in the short work we've done today. It felt very liberating to go to the places I was able to go as far as the anger and remorse. I'm very, very, very entertained with the idea of revenge, vengeance, and justice being brought to, especially the people who commit terrible crimes against one another. I firmly believe in eye for an eye, and I believe in revenge, and that's what Revis is about. So this performance, for me, all I can say is I wish I could do more. I think there's so much more to this story, and so much more to Revis, and he's got a lot of work to do, and I would love to see that pan out. Well, if anything, all this has done is really given me a slice of a cake, and I want more.
Come out here! Hey, I'm Mike G, and I'm on the set of Elude the movie. I play the role of Chino, and as you can tell, I just lightly got murdered. Well, the message I like to gather from this whole movie is we're not trying to glamorize it. Hopefully our movie, when you see it, you're never going to want to do meth, you're never going to do any type of drugs, you're going to want to stay at home, you're not going to want to hang out with anybody like these guys. So, you know, we definitely don't want to glamorize any of this. But at the same time, this is an action-packed, you know, thrill ride of a movie, and, you know, the scenery we have planned for this out in the deep woods of Oregon, and you know, the chaos that ensues and all that. You know, I always likened it to, like, Deliverance, but instead of hillbillies, we got meth addicts, and, you know, you take your plain Jane date movie mixed in with something like that, you know, you got something that you just can't look away from.
Sweet, a freshie. Maybe he's got the supplies here. My name's Chris Chalk. Everyone calls me Chalky. And as I said, I'm playing Ivan, the sociopathic meth cook in the film Elude. So Ivan is the gang's meth cook. He's cookie, you know. He makes the gear that the gang sells, and he's like, you'd probably say he's like the number 3 guy in the gang. You know, Memo being the boss man, Chief being the enforcer, and, you know, Cookie cooks. So Elude is more designed to make you think about these things that happen in life, and how people interact, and what leads them down the path that they eventually find themselves on. Yeah, I think it's a great story, it's a good script, it's a good group of people, there's good dynamics. I think it's an interesting story, and I think it's actually got something to say. My background is actually, obviously I'm originally from Australia, and in Australia I was a musician. But I also studied at the Western Australian Academy of Performing Arts. So, you know, being in the music business and, you know, working in theatre and stuff, I have had the fortune to be surrounded by great actors and great directors a lot. So, but yeah, my career, I'm a set lighting technician. And so it's an interesting thing to be on the front page of the call sheet as opposed to the back.
Said he had some business to deal with, and we pick him up here. My name is Jimmy Troncoso, and I'm playing Chief. What attracted me to Elude, reading the script, honestly, was the violence. It was really dark, gritty, kind of bordering on disgusting. kind of violence. And I grew up, I was always a big horror movie fan. Really, that's all I ever wanted to do was play a bad guy in a horror movie, and I never got around to it till this. And it's not quite a horror movie, but you know, falls in those bloody, gross kind of lines. The violence in this movie, at no point do I feel that it glamorizes this sort of lifestyle. If anything, it almost serves as a warning, even from the opening, you know, that these are people that are supposed to be your friends, supposed to be your brothers, but at the end of the day, it's all business. You know, if you're messing with my money, you know, I'm gonna kill you. That's that. I don't think the violence in this movie would inspire other people to be violent. If anything, hopefully it would inspire people to stay away from that sort of life. These are all bad guys, man. It's not, you know, in a mafia movie, the bad guys all dress really nice. And you, for the most part, look at that and think, man, I could deal with that. I could do that. I don't think any of these characters are anything anyone would ever aspire to be.
I'm Juan Valdez, brother-in-law to the director of film, Matthew May. I'm one of the parties that worked on the car Evil. In the story, the ominous look of the car is an extension of the gang leader Memo. The car came to us from South Dakota from a farmer who was parting it out. When it came to us, it was in pretty bad shape. When we first got it, we checked the oil and the water, turned the key, and to our surprise, it fired right up. It smoked. It smoked a lot. The old dash was brittle and curled up, the floor was rotted out, the windows weren't rolled, the headliner was shredded and hanging everywhere. It was missing a lot of parts, it was in sorry shape and needed a lot of work. There were a lot of hours put into this car to get it ready. The smoking engine was intentionally left alone. We didn't want to fix it because, in the story, Evil is the catalyst between the gang and the nice couple, Josh and Ashley. The couple are heading up to the woods for a leisurely day of bike riding, but unfortunately they get stuck behind the smoking old car. With several failed attempts to pass Memo, they become frustrated and annoyed with Evil's slow speed and smoke. But suddenly, Memo waves for them to pass. They start, and as they begin to pass, they notice Memo is waving goodbye to them. That's when a horn blast directs the couple to the semi-truck that's coming right at them. After the death-defying incident, they leave the scene, and that's when Memo notices a Forest Ranger sticker on the back window of Josh's truck. And that's when the couple's problems are truly about to begin.
Hi, my name is Matthew May, director of Elude, the Tease. On a weekend in mid-June 2012 in Portland, Oregon, at a beautifully unique location, myself and a team of over 75 great, selfless, dedicated film professionals who gave freely of their personal time, talents, and skills to help support me, MDM Films, and the independent film community as a whole. That weekend, we crammed what should have taken 4 days to shoot into 2. It was great to see Northwest crews and vendors team together in support of us at MDM Films in our venture to create what is destined to be the first in many great films we have planned to produce. With great pride, I'd also like to thank all those vendors who gave so graciously and generously. It proves that they have faith in us and are extremely supportive of all our local filmmakers. I'd also like to thank the entire post-production team for all their numerous hours of professional skills that they so freely provided. I personally want to thank each and every one of you for all your hard work and dedication to the production of this film. And because of you, we at MDM Films know that this tease will get us funded. Thank you.